Step 5 of translating your WordPress website using WPML is to review all of the various settings in WPML. We're going to focus on a few today, and that will be how you deal with your language selector, if you will use IP tracking or not to determine what language your user will receive, and the URL structure of your site. So the first topic we'll cover is how you define your language selector. There are many options. There's a flag option, there is just the name of the language switcher, or there's IP tracking. Our preference is really to use the language selector so that users can toggle between languages from time to time. And what that looks like, it will be in this area under the Languages tab in WPML called Menu Language Switcher. So as you can see, you can pick English or Spanish or French here. The reason we want to avoid flags is, as covered earlier, there are different locales for certain languages. So, for example, English can be used in the United States, the United Kingdom, or Australia, and various other countries. Again, with Spanish, you can have Spain, Mexico, Colombia, and among many other countries. So we really want to avoid flags in order to keep it as neutral as possible. The second option is you might be able to utilize IP tracking. And what that does is that takes your user's IP address and determines what country they are based on their location. Now that can be tricky as well because you could be traveling. There are many reasons why that might be a flawed approach. Another setting you'll need to consider is how the URL structure of your site will work. So, will your site be argotrans.com/en, or will it say English? Will it say en-uk? Or will it be a completely different directory such as argotrans.fr? There are a lot of considerations that you need to take into account then, all of which need to be ironed out before translation. Because if you start translation and then change your settings, that might change the whole structure of your site and might really throw a wrench into some of the statuses of some of the documents that are in translation. So it's best to work with your development team to hammer out all of those details before you send any work for translation. And that is step 5 of translating your WordPress site, which is reviewing certain WPML settings.